Yeah. I think that you guys are some of the most fortunate people in leadership to have Corey Muhammad at the helm of this thing, to put on events. It costs probably $20,000 to rent that room and do all that stuff. And you talk the company into paying for not only that, and letting everybody in free. Let's give it up to Mr. Corey Muhammad. That's a pretty big deal. That's a big deal. You proud of your daddy? Yes, well, you're in the wheel, you ought to be proud of your daddy. Okay, the whole goal, to me, of work is to create financial stability. How many would agree with that? Right. Yeah. Once you are financially stable, if you become, and I'm just going to do this, financially stable, right, then you can be emotionally stable. Does that make sense? Yes. But if you don't have enough money to pay your light bill, your water bill, your insurance, and you can't buy enough food, you're not emotionally stable. But once you get the money problem out of the way, you become financially stable. Got that? Yes, sir. And I wasn't going to do this piece of this business, I'm going to do this real quick. Invariably, whether I'm speaking to leadership people or chamber of commerce people or business people, hundreds of business people, they always say, Mr. Combs, what do you think about the economy? Have y'all ever heard that? What do you think about the economy? Well, what most people don't know, and so I'll ask you, if you ask me that question, I'd say to you, which economy are you talking about? And they always go, what are you talking about, which economy? Well, there's two economies out here. 97% of the people on earth, and y'all may want to write this down, 97% of the people on earth are poor, are middle class, and they belong to the first economy. And 3% of the people on earth belong to the second economy, and they are the ones who are rich. How many of you ever heard the saying, the poor get poor and the rich get rich? Here's the reason why. That will never change. It's never going to change. It can't change. And you'll understand. For 6,000 years of recorded history, here's what happened. And I know because I belong to this for a lot of years. My whole family belonged to this. There was nobody rich in my family. We were poor and we've been middle class. And I thought, how the hell do you break this thing? And why are rich people rich? And when I got hurt, I had time to think about it. Here's the story. 97% of your friends you have ever known, will have, and never will know, will belong to this economy. And 3% of us will be rich. And it's not changing. Here's the reason why. These folks, us, we get up, we go to work, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. We look at the world, very important. We look at the world and say, what can we buy? That's what we do. These people are what we call in the buyer's economy, right? This is the buyer's economy. The wealthy folks, what we do is we go to work and we look at the world and say, what can we supply? Right? They look at the world and say, what? And they look at the world and say, what? See, people are buying water and people are what? People buying cars, people do what? Supply. People buying real estate, people what? Supply. People buying underwear, people do what? You understand? So ask yourself this question. If you're ever going to be rich, you have to ask yourself this. What do I supply and how many people do I supply? And if all you're doing is buying, sooner or later you'll be crying. If you start supplying, sooner or later you can be flying. If you gave all the money, took all the money and put it in a pile and gave everybody an equal amount of money, these people would go out and do what? And they would go out with their money and do what? This is called a refined study of the obvious. This is not up for debate. I'm just telling you that's the way it is. And it's never going to change. People wonder, when you drive down the street and in my city there's a road called Main Road. On one side of the road is little bitty houses. On the other side of the road is mobile homes, the poor middle class. At the end of that is Kiowa Island. 5 million, 20 million, $30 million houses. People in a trailer park in a small home do what? What do the people in the big houses do? When you see a Bentley going by, that person is supplying a lot of people something, a valuable product or service. And it doesn't matter whether it's straws, it doesn't matter whether it's napkins, toilet paper. If you supply enough toilet paper, you can wipe it. If you just supplied the Pentagon with toilet paper, 43,000 people work at the Pentagon alone. Can you imagine? Every day, they're just steady wiping. You understand what I'm saying? So rich people get rich because they do what? And poor people in the middle class stay poor because they what? Once you get all the money you need, you can buy anything you want to buy. Because they're going to keep buying, you're going to keep supplying, you're going to keep doing what you want to do. This is real easy to understand. And here's the formula. It took me 35 years to put these numbers together. Supply a valuable product or service multiplied by a large number of people buying, and you will be rich. Supply a valuable product or service multiplied by a large number of people buying, and you're rich. Does that make any sense? A third grader can understand this. I have told this to people, and their life went from zero to hero in their family. Because they just, now, you have an online business, right? Selling phones? You supply people who want to do what? Buy phones. That's pretty simple. Now you're going to be able to supply them with a free app. You're going to make money off the phone, and you're going to make money off the app. You're going to double dip. You'll make more money off the apps than you will the phone. Guaranteed. Because you'll figure out that's a subscriber-based business, right? Y'all got that? Okay. Here's my challenge to you. If you have a piece of paper and you want to draw this, I'm getting ready to draw something. I'll draw two things. First of all, the mind is like old underwear. Now, you may have a different kind on. Or you may have none on. I don't know. But once your mind is stretched, you can't go back. Just like your old underwear. And I'm getting ready to stretch your mind and show you something that's only been seen one other time. But I just came up with a new drawing. Did you like it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you take notes?
Yes, sir.
If you don't have paper, my suggestion you have a phone, take a picture when I'm done. Okay? So we're going to turn this over. I just wasted a piece of paper. The mind is like what? Once your mind is stretched, what? You can't go back. I'm just letting you know. Okay. So here's the deal. Draw a straight line, and then you can just draw this little thing. Let's suppose this is where you work. Now you may work in something that looks different, but that's okay. Like you're working from home, this could be something else, okay? Here's your house, right here. Now, if you're single or married, it doesn't matter. But let's say that you're married and you've got a wife and a couple of kids. Or you may have one kid, or just a wife, or you're single. It doesn't matter. You're the same thing. Now, are you single?
Yes, sir.
And the guy that's sitting there, who else is married? Who's married? None of y'all married? You're married?
Yes.
Okay. Are you taking pictures?
Video.
Let me get my best side up to you. Okay. So, does your wife work?
No.
No. So, this is your job, right? And you go to work and they pay you, right?
No
So
attention.
there's one person bringing money in your house.
Right.
Okay. Let's look for just a moment, see how many people take money out of your house. How many of you have rent or house payment? How many of you have water, lights, sewage, cell phones?
Oh yeah.
How many cell phones in your house?
2.
You got 2 cell phones. Internet.
Yep.
Cable.
Nope.
Some people have cable. Okay.
Got Cody.
Credit cards. Car loans.
Nope.
Insurance. Okay. Food.
Yep. Gas.
Yeah. We go on and on. Christmas, vacations, da 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 da. How many people are bringing money in the house?
One.
How many people take money out of the house? Now, so that means that this gentleman right here he is, and he's supporting this whole thing. He's like this. He's trying to balance these two. Now, if he loses his job, this doesn't go away, this just falls.
Mm-hmm.
How many ever been there? You lost your job?
Yep.
Oh, I have. I still owed all this because I was the asset. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
So whether you and your wife both work, it doesn't matter. You're still supporting this.
Right.
And if one goes away, you still got bills and you was counting on both for paychecks.
Right.
Is this helping? Here's what happens with Legal Shield. When you bring on an associate, now they're here helping you hold this up. Because every membership thing will put money in your house. You bring on another associate, they're helping you hold this up. You bring on another one, they're helping you hold it up. How many associates?
500.
You brought him on, he has 2,500 more that's helping you hold your house up. Y'all got it?
Mm-hmm.
You bring John Gardner on, you got 55,000 associates helping you hold his house up. Corey's got thousands of associates. 17,000 associates. He was a single parent, working his butt off to support his kids. 17,000. So if you just had Corey, eventually, you and your wife can walk away, and now you're financially stable. And you're emotionally stable. He walked away for 3 years and just came back to build a little more. But if you're there holding it up by yourself, and you lose your job or you get hurt, this whole thing crashes. I know, I have been there a few times. It's not pretty. Is that good? That's not the best. On top of that, how many memberships have you moved, you and your team?
Almost 20,000.
You now have 20,000 subscribers. Is that right? 20,000 subscribers that are paying every month. That's also holding this thing up. If you'd sponsored me, how many members do we have? 485,000? 485,000 people paying. You have front-end money when somebody moves a membership. You have back-end money from residuals. You're compounding your way to wealth, and no one understands it because all they do every day, the only book they have read since high school is Facebook. It didn't make them a damn dime. And they tweet everywhere. And they're just pissing away their life. And I'm not knocking those things, but what I'm saying to you is one day, they won't have it. One day you won't be able to work or you can't work. I'm not there yet. I still have a 25-year plan which would put me at 100. And I'd say every 90 days is only 1%. So if screw it up, I don't screw it up 1%. Every 90 days, 1%. So, you know, it's just my plan. You know, I've got a lot of things I want to do yet. You cannot stop this. This is an apple. If you cut this apple open, and I've cut a lot of apples open to do and see if this is right, there is an average of 5 seeds in every apple. Now, if there's some with 4, some with 6, but there's an average of 5. If you cut this apple, what's the average number of seeds you're going to find?
5.
Now, you can count the apples in that. I mean, you count the seeds in this apple, right? But can you count the seeds in one apple?
No.
What if I plant this seed? It may die, right? I plant this one, it may die. But this one produces a tree and thousands of more apples. And thousands of more. One seed can give you an orchard of things. You may only have 5 people come in your business the whole first year. You understand? And some of them may not even stay. And you think, well, this is just not working. But what you don't know is that somebody knew Corey Muhammad. And inside that person was 17,000, is that what you said, 20,000 members paying every month. Do not get carried away because you don't have a lot of associates in your business. Just keep working with the ones you've got in there and help them do their thing, because somewhere down the line, you're going to run into somebody like that young man right there that has just gotten laid off twice in 1 year. In 1 year?
2 years.
In 2 years. And he was fed up. Now, I don't know if you're fed up or not, but when you go to work and you're making $10, $20 an hour, you're not making 10 or 20. Because taxes is 50.2% of your income. There's state tax, federal tax, local tax. There's gas tax. There's food tax and sewage tax. They tax you going in and coming out. So go to work tomorrow making $12 an hour, just go and knowing you can bring home $6 an hour and try to raise a 3-family thing. It's not your fault you're broke. It's the system that you're working. Does this make any sense?
Oh yeah.
The more associates you have supporting this, the more members they keep bringing on board, and they keep stacking them. First year you may only have, our first year we was doing about what, 1,000 memberships a month, 2,000. By the end of the year, we were doing 3,000 memberships a month. That's 36,000 members a year. The next year, another 36,000 on top of that. Next year, another 36,000. You following me? It keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. And the cash flow off of that is just crazy, y'all. So, whether you ever thought you was going to be rich or not, just eliminate the whole thought. Because the only thing holding you back is when you supply a valuable product or service to a large number of people, you get rich. If you want to get wealthy, you supply a valuable product or service to a large number of people and let other people supply it for you. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah.
So you can only do so much. Y'all know who Oprah Winfrey is. She's worth $4 billion. $1 billion is 1,000 million. If you had $1 billion, you could live 1,000 years, spend $1 million a year, and never run out of money. You look up Richard Branson. You heard all about him. $4 billion. Donald Trump, around $5 billion. But there's 5 people you don't know anything about. You don't even know their damn names. It's the Sam Walton kids. Collectively, those 5 children are worth $156 billion because of this one thing.
Walmart.
They own equity in ongoing transactions that last beyond their daddy's lifetime. Follow me. The only way to get rich is to own equity in the transactions. If you want generational wealth, you want to own equity in ongoing transactions that last beyond your life. After I'm dead and gone, and my wife is gone, our children, it will roll to them just like Sam Walton's kids that roll to them, and it will be getting bigger every year. This is your daughter, right? She's here to make sure that her daddy builds is really big. Really big. I mean, she's got braces on, she looks great. She's tall, good looking, and rich. It don't get much better than that. Because neither you and I are not going to get tall and good looking. We're not going to get rich. You might get tall and good looking. Does this make any sense to you?
Oh yes.
Do not get discouraged on the numbers. Focus on helping those people understand the business so they keep bringing on subscriber base. Compounding. Got it?
Yes.
How many of you drew that? Y'all drew it? How many of y'all want to take a picture of this?
I would too.
This is your future if you do it right. You do not want, let's eliminate this and these. That is not, 1 is not a good number. 1 customer, 1 car, $1 in your bank account. This is not a solo life, y'all. This is a team sport. Corey knows he can count on him, he knows I can count on him, we got each other's back. You can't go to the doctor and say, give me a prescription for 2 friends. They don't have that prescription. Your life will be defined by the friends you make and the relationships you build. Your entire life will be defined by that. The friends you make and those deep relationships you keep with your associates and your family and your friend, all that, your vendors and everybody else. So my dream is you understand this. And now your mind may be stretched a little. You understand what the disaster can happen if you're the only one holding this up. And if this job goes away, this all falls. Most people are about 60 weeks away from being homeless. You don't want that. You want to have a lot of stuff here supporting this, okay? It's been a pleasure talking to y'all. Thank y'all.